Hey allihopa, hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Say It in Swedish. Today we are gonna talk about, I think, Swedish's most irregular word. Maybe, I don't know. As always, I don't have the facts. Don't trust me at all. But it's very interesting because in each situation where we want to use this adjective, we need to switch it out for another one. So which word am I really gonna talk about today? Well, it's the Swedish equivalent to the English little or small, and you will no doubt recognize that these are related. However, we need three different words or variants or whatever we want to call it for three different situations. And that's what makes it a little bit complicated, but at the end of this video, you're gonna nail this. All right, so let's start with Liten or Litet, depending on the grammatical gender of the noun that it's describing. All right, we have talked about this a lot, and you can go to sayitinswedish.com if you want to learn more about grammatical genders, or you can click somewhere. Liten and litet are used when the noun is in its indefinite form, and this basically means when we use an indefinite article like the English and un, in Swedish en and ett. So for instance, we have en liten bil. En liten bil, a small car. En liten bil. And ett litet hus. Ett litet hus, a small house. And here you can see how the ending of liten and litet changes, right? Depending on the grammatical gender of the noun. Now this is all fine and dandy, right? And relatively easy. You have liten, it changes one letter depending on the grammatical gender, and that's it. But in Swedish we also need to change the word when the noun is in its definite form. And it sounds nothing like liten. It's lilla. Lilla. So when we want to say the small car instead of a small car, we say den lilla bilen. Den lilla bilen. Instead of en liten bil. And if it's the small house, it's det lilla huset. Det lilla huset. So here, the word doesn't change depending on the grammatical gender, but it's different from the word we had before. So one could think that, okay, this is it, right? But then we come to the plural. And the plural, meaning when we have more cars and more houses, we have the word små. And this very much reminds us of small in English, right? Små. But it's only used in the plural here. So we say små bilar. Små bilar. Little cars. Små bilar. And små hus. Små hus, little houses. This doesn't change in the definite form, so we have de små bilarna. De små bilarna and de små husen. De små husen. Now, I'm not gonna go in depth on why the nouns look like they do, but if you're interested in plural endings, you can watch my massive video on Swedish plurals if you click somewhere here. I'm sure you're gonna get answers to all your questions over there. Before we end this video, I wanted to talk about two bonus things. So you might have seen the word lille with an E at the end. And this is the masculine variant of lilla. And here it has nothing to do with a contemporary grammatical gender, but a real gender. So we use this with things that are obviously male. It's starting to die out, but you can still see this E ending with a lot of adjectives, especially when we're talking about kings and great kings. We use the word store, for instance, instead of stora. So if you see lille, you know that we're talking about maybe a boy, for instance. And then we have the word lite. And lite comes from litet, but has lost its T and is now written and pronounced without it. So it's lite. And this means a little. Not little or small, it means a little. So you can use it when you are talking about an amount of things. Or if you're tired, you could be a bit tired, a little tired. You can answer lite. Jag är lite trött. Jag är lite trött. All right? So that's it for today. If you want to talk to me and other fans and learners, you can do that on our Discord server. It's a party every day. You can head over there to talk to me, ask your questions, practice your Swedish, or just talk about everyday things. And if you want to learn Swedish in a more structured way, you can head over to sayitinswedish.com, where I've got a ton of lessons for you. And if you want to support this project, you can do that on the site or on Patreon. And we will see each other in another video. All right? Take care. Ha det bra. Puss och kram. Vi ses. Alltså kommer en lastbil. Alltid kul med lastbilar. Jaha, det är en sån som tänkte stanna här också. A small car. And nu kommer lastbilen igen. Att alltid ska ta sån tid för att det ska åka lastbilar här. Tack. Lastbilsjävel.